So this is the website we started, and you can see I pulled up the last 12 months, and there's no data for 12 months because it's a 3-year-old site. And so if we go here, I can show you that this site was first picked up by Google on the 6th of October. And since the 6th of October, which we had no position, no clicks, no impressions, we've gone from there to what is now the 19th of January 2026. We're getting 6 clicks on a consistent basis daily. We're getting 755 impressions, and we're currently at an average position of 22.3. Now, within the last 3 months, this kind of improvement, and also you see this is now constant improvement. So we picked up and we're continuing to grow the website. And this is something that a lot of SEOs will tell you, like the first 3 months of a brand new domain is mainly means that it's within Google Sandbox, so it's not going to really go anywhere. When in fact, I found a way so that your domain is not sandboxed, even if it's a brand new domain. This is actually the 3rd time I've used it, and I've been able to break out of Google Sandbox without having to do a great deal of work, without having to spend a great deal of money. This video will mainly go into the first 2 things I did, and then the next video I'll go into more stuff because I don't want to make this a very long video. But this is what you can expect once you start breaking out. And I think the breakout started at around over here, which was December 8th. So around 2 months into this, we began to break out this website. And now it's doing pretty well for search terms that are high volume, high intent. And we're already getting on, interestingly, a conversion or a lead, because we don't really sell a service here, where we're getting a lead almost every week on this. So pretty good for a brand new website. Well, and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So in this video, I'm going to show you a brand new website I built just 3 months ago using a brand new domain and where it ranks right now. And this is for probably one of the most competitive search terms out there and one of the most competitive industries out there. This is also more of a proof of concept because this website does not offer a service, it does not sell a product. It's mainly an informational website, and I built as a way to test a few things to see if my theory holds out on a brand new domain. Well, as you saw in the introduction, this website is doing very well for one that was started just in October. And so today makes it like 3 months. And this is not a used domain, this is not an old domain, this is a brand new domain, and this is a branded domain. And so this video, I'll go through some of the stuff we did for this website and just what I think works best if you're starting a new website. And as you can see, we always believed that there is going to be like a sandbox for a brand new domain. And in this case, there is no sandbox. All right, so how did we bypass Google's sandbox? That's also something I will go into in this video. So I'll cover a few things in this video, and then some of the other stuff I'll cover in the next video. So subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because there are going to be a lot more videos like this coming out, and there's a lot more testing that we're doing, especially when it comes to LLMs, AEO, SEO, that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's jump. So the first thing we did was create a topical map for this website. And the topical map literally took us around a week of work just to complete, even though this is not a huge niche. So this niche is not like, it doesn't have like thousands of keywords, but it has a few hundred keywords. But we wanted to find the entities that were most closely related to the keywords that we want to rank for, in addition to the keywords that we wanted to rank for. All right, so the first thing we need to do is when we're creating a topical map, mainly is to make sure that we're identifying the right entities. Okay, so the pillar clusters over here that you see on the left. Now I have to blur this out because I don't want people stealing or my ideas or trying to hijack the website or do any of that stuff. So I'm just playing it careful, even though I own the site, and if someone reaches out to me and I trust them, I can show them the website, but I'm not going to disclose any information in this video, but I'm going to show you how this topical map really works so that you can build one your own, or if you order one from someone like me or someone on the internet, whether if it's a good topical map or it's just AI garbage. So over here you have the pillar clusters, which are all the main keywords and entities that we want to rank for. Okay, so this is all the main stuff that we want to rank for on the left. And so on the right over here are the keywords. So these are the keywords that are associated with the main entity. So we've listed all of those for each entity over here. And then we've decided, okay, how relevant is this key term to our domain? Now, the mistake people make is that they buy a domain that's either not directly related to the website they're trying to build. So the domain name is something like technologyinc.com, when in fact they're selling fruit online. And so that is a disconnect between the domain name and between your business. So make sure that your domain name is within what you're trying to accomplish. And the relevance here is the relevance of this cluster and this main pillar page to the domain that we have and the page that we want to build for the topic. So this is more of a topical relevance. So how relevant is this cluster to the topic? Now, sometimes you would have pillar pages that are not relevant to the topic. And if that's the case, that requires a totally different approach. But for now, these are relevant. Some are medium relevant, some are high relevance, as you can see over here on the right. And then we have the tier. And this is the tier that I decide based on how far away this pillar over here is from the main topic. And so you have a main topic that's at the center of this. The tier 1 would be the next tier, which will be, in some cases, it will be a pillar page. In some cases, it will be your home page. In some cases, depending on how you're trying to build out the website. Now, as I said, this is not a huge site. This is not thousands of keywords. It's a few hundred keywords. But some of these are tier 2, some of these are tier 3. So we're building those tiers before we start deciding on the structure of the website. And that's why I say if you're going to start a new website, might as well start with a topical map so you're structuring your website correctly. The next one is the structure. And again, I'm going to blur a lot of this out. Structure the site. So how we want these topics to be structured on the website. So we've got the domain, we've got the subdomain, we've got the domain, we've got the page or the folder or the subfolder. So in this case, for instance, we've got destinations, then we've got what are in each destination, also what pages are relevant to these destinations, and then titles for these destinations and their tiers. And so I gave this to the developer, and he went ahead and used this to start creating the structure of the website. And that's one of the reasons why we were able to break out of the sandbox so early compared to what we usually used to do in the past. And this approach to topical maps is also brand new for me, because in the past my topical maps were different. Now I'm doing these types of topical maps where I'm building and outlining the exact structure for that domain, which means that people just can go out and start rolling this out right away and break out from the sandbox, improve their rankings and stuff like that. And also I've mentioned the word count over here for each page. So in a nutshell, these are each pages or every page, and then all the sub pages and all the sub pages. Okay, and the intent is over here is navigational, commercial. So what the intent is of the page, very self-explanatory. And then we have like a list of these. So this was the keyword research that we originally did. And as you can see, there's a lot of keyword research that we did over here. We pulled out all of this information from various tools and put them together and kind of like turned this into a keyword matrix so that we know like what the competition is of each keyword, and so that we can take this and start building out the relevance from these keywords. Now, this is not a whole topical map tutorial, but most people want to see like how my topical maps look. This is how they mostly look now. This is what I've started to build now, and I'm seeing a great deal of success with this. So once we built out the topical maps, after we started rolling out a topical map and we were 20 pages in, the next step we did was build out internal links. And one of the things we did right away for internal linking is we only built internal branded links. So for instance, let's say your brand is Jack's Roofing, and the terms within your pages, now all of your pages will have this because you're in the roofing industry. So you'll have metal roofing, for instance, You'll also have shingles. You might also have concrete, stuff like that. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to take this Jack's roofing, and for pages, let's say metal roofing, you'll do your internal link will go from Jack's roofing. You'll have an internal link within the metal roofing page, and it will have this as the anchor text. Okay, so it will be Jack roofing, metal roofing. You'll have Jack roofing shingles. You'll have Jack roofing concrete roofing. Okay, and then from the home page, which will be all about Jack roofing, so this will be Jack roofing home page. Okay, this will have then links to your metal roofing page, your shingles page, and your concrete roofing page. Now, one of the reasons why this works and why I've been testing this is because Google now looks at semantic relevance with your brand. And so if you don't have your brand associated with the service you provide, or Google can't make that connection, then you might be able to rank for metal roofing on page 2, but not your website. So maybe you have one page rank, 2 pages rank, you might be on page 2, the lower end of page 1. But if you want to be page 1, this is what you want to do. And this is also what you want to do if you want to break out of Google's Sandbox. Because within Google Sandbox, I think there is an instruction that says, if it's just a general site like every other site out there, then sandbox it for longer compared to if it's a site that really provides value and there's branding or there's a brand that Google has not heard about before. And so it wants to learn more about, and it thinks people want to learn more about. It breaks out of the sandbox. So, which is why I think this works. And this is just a working theory, but for now, this theory is definitely working. Now, there are a few other things that I did for this website to kind of rank it once it broke out of Google Sandbox. But this is what I did in a nutshell to break it out of Google Sandbox. And if you're starting a brand new domain, this is where you might want to start. I think if you have a brand new domain, and it's a branded domain, or even if it's an exact match domain, make sure that it's related to your niche. So if you guys like the video, like and subscribe as always, leave a comment below. And if you have any SEO tips or you want to appear on the channel as a guest, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy ranking.